What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on a recent Facebook post that I seen with Tim Hardaway. When Tim Hardaway says that he would have averaged 40 points in today's NBA, right? So basically what he says, all right, Tim Hardaway says that he would have averaged 40 points in today's NBA, 40 easy. Let me see. I get to shoot 15 threes a game like Steph Curry. I'm like Steph Curry right now. I would be hard to deal with. It'll be hard to deal with me right now. 40 points, 40 easy, right? And so I don't know if like everybody now thinks that, because of the how like they don't play any defense like they used to play back in the day. Um, the NBA is not as physical as it was back in the day. So, a lot of players, the older players, looking at the way they're playing now, is to would think that they will be able to score, score more points. And so, I think they may be able to score more points, but today's game is a lot different, right? And so just because you score points, I don't think that though you're scoring points. That don't mean that would translate into wins, and so I want to hear like one of the older players saying, "Wow, I'm seeing these, the way they're playing, man. I know that I will be able to dominate and get and win a certain amount of rings." You don't hear them saying that. Everybody's saying that how much they would have scored, and so scoring don't necessarily translate into wins or to rings really. Um, you have LeBron James who scored over 40,000 points, and he has that don't mean that he had more rings than Michael Jordan because he scored more points than Michael Jordan. Um, he has 4 rings. Mike got 6. And so the thing about it is, it's not scoring. I think it's like what separated Mike from everybody else, not just the scoring, but Mike did other things that made the team, win championships. Um, and so, I would like to see somebody who come up and say, "Wow, I would be I could be like the best defensive player, in this era because ain't nobody else playing defense. So I will focus on defense or just focus on an all around game uh, when you don't have players that are focusing on all around games. You don't have players. A lot of players are not even two-way players like you had to be back in the day. And even to get on the court, you had to definitely play defense. I don't care what position you played. If you was a guard, from guard to center, everybody had to play defense. Like you really couldn't be a liability. You had to contribute some kind of way. You had to come up with steals, rebounds. You just had to play at both ends. You just couldn't give up layups and stuff like that. So that's where the physical play came in, right? And so yeah, I would just like to see if a player like what else Anthony Hardaway, I'm sorry, Tim Hardaway. I'm sorry, what else? Tim Hardaway, what else could he have brought to the table that would have made him a more successful player in this era, than he was when he played, and I think he probably would have been like more physical. He was used to playing a more physical game because he played in that era. So would he have played better defense? I don't know. Would he be able to be more physical than than when he played physical with the players, or what could he have brought to the table, you know, that that would make him a more successful player in this era. Like I'm thinking they're looking at it from a standpoint that all right, this brand of basketball is softer. This brand of basketball that's playing today is more it's more finesse than it was back when he played. And so he may have been able to score more points, but what else could you bring to this era that would have made you, in my opinion, made you a dominant ball player, and that would have made you a winner, been able to win, whereas though, you know, you couldn't do that like when you played, it was more difficult to win because of the era that you played, and so that's what I would want to hear, like these ball players who come in and they talk about how much they would have scored in today's game. What else could you have done, like I said, that would have made the team, that made you a more dominant ball player. Like I just think that, players like Kobe, Mike, Magic, and Bird, they just would have just exposed so many different weaknesses in today's with today's finesse game, because they just knew the game, they studied the game. Even players like Bernard King. I like Bernard King because Bernard King he just had basketball down to a science, that he knew that if he got to certain areas on the court, he knew that he was unstoppable. And so that's what I like about old school basketball. Like, those guys knew how to play the game. They had the game down to a science. And so yeah, I would like to hear, like I said, these older ball players, just speak about the science of the game, because I think that, in my opinion, that's what's missing today. Like the science, like ball players today, you see them a lot of times they leave scoring opportunities, and they leave opportunities on the court, because they're not as efficient, and they don't know the game the way old school ball players knew the game. And so, those are the things that I think I would like to hear, like, more, the older guys speak about, when they talk about opportunities that present themselves today that they wouldn't, maybe not have had back in their day, because scoring wasn't I mean, scoring is good. You like to see the scoring, but that's only part of the game, and so maybe Tim Hardaway would have maybe he would have been able to score 40 points a game, but would those 40 points have translated into championships? And so that's my question to not just Tim Hardaway, but like the older guys who thought or who think that they would have been able to score a lot more points with in today's game. And so that's my take on it. Make sure to like, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I will check you all out on the next video. Peace.